ife zipani zonse pano mafunde Freedom Party. Kusongana pano azimayi mutavala ma uniform mokomesera. Kusongana pano azipani zonse. Coexistence and peace. Kusongana pano akulu achibani ndizotani. Ndizotani ya Malawi. Ifeya kusongana osakapana zikwanje ndizotani. Ulemu kwa Olemekezeka, retired Chief Justice, my dearest friend, my husband, and my anchor. Ulemu kwa a President Amafunde, amena ya partner atu mulutpa. Ulemu kwa inosa Maya Amafunde, thanks for coming. Libereke ulemu kwa a Secretary General of Freedom Party. Mukandi tokozere kwa nchimwene wanga. Thank you for coming. Ulemu kwa PDP and the ADD. I think if I'm not mistaken. Takula ndirani ndi manja awiri zikomo. Inuyo asogoleri asban. Chipani cha People's Party. Ndinga kutokozeni bwanji. Ndikungogona ni mundu atenga front seat. Koma the work that you are doing every day. Ndi mulungu yeka amenanga kudalise. Nditokoze kwa mapisi atu amena abwela pompano. Ndi ma director amai, ndi ma director achinyamata ya chipani wonse. Zikomo. Ndikufuna kuthokoza kwambiri mwapadera chairman watu wa kampeni Dr. Chris Daza. Thank you for coming. A Pastor Esnat Nyirongo. Simati siyatoka zikomo. Thanks for coming. Mundilole kuti koyambirira kundinene nchizungu. Ineyo Olemekezeka maindi abambo. Mene anenera Mr. Timothy Sandram. Siti nabwere uzasewera ifeyo. Ifeyo, a People's Party, siti ngabwere kuima pano ndikumakuuzani masanje. Ifeyo tasankha kuchita launch muholo. Kuti antu awa ojambula jambule ziko lonse limve. Vina kukondwelela kuchita launch kukopa antu kuti ativotere tikapanga pa 26 Saturday next week kuchinkana club kuzomba. Lero pano tabwera kuzaliuza ziko kuyangana ndi mmene anthu akuvutikira. Ndikunena kuti tiyeni tikanene zimene tingapange ma section awiri. Wani zimene tingapange mwansanga now, today and now. Ndi zimene tingapange medium and long term within the 5 years. So distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the People's Party, I present myself and our party to you and to the nation as a tried, tested, and proven leadership. A tested candidate for the 2025 September elections. I come before you with the experience to rescue the country from the prevailing economic, developmental, and social chaos. I present myself to the nation to provide the much-needed decisive leadership to restore, to rebuild, and to re-energize Malawi's journey to a country that everyone can happily and proudly call home. promises to achieve its 2063 developmental agenda, Malawi okomera tonse. My fellow citizens, as People's Party, we come before you fully aware of the existing painful challenges the country is going through, characterized by shortages of foreign exchange and fuel that have hugely impacted the country's economic activities. A country whose key sectors, like health, is on its knees. Our People's Party Manifesto, unveiled today, provides a balanced approach to stabilizing the economy through implementation of quick gains and attain economic growth in the long term. Before I present to you our manifesto's key pillars, I seek your indulgence to reflect on the current state of affairs. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our country is going through a tough time that we must all acknowledge and accept, so as to be bold and decisive in our decisions. Malawi's economic growth has been nothing but lethargic, registering a meager 1.8% growth last year, 2024, against a 2.6% population growth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, according to the World Bank, this marks the third straight year of declining GDP per capita. The prevailing microeconomic fundamentals aren't giving hope for economic recovery anytime soon if we continue on this disjointed and slippery economic governance trajectory. Our monetary and fiscal policies need to inspire national economic growth. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the prices of basic goods have increasingly become fluid and very unpredictable, bringing misery on our fellow citizens and further deepening the country's poverty levels. The Kwacha purchasing power has continued to be eroded, making salary adjustments a mere academic exercise. Our situation has further been compounded by the recent World Bank revision of daily per capita from $2.15 to $3, hence pushing our poverty levels from 70.1% to 75.4% of our population. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a rise in national poverty rate of 5.3% translates to over 1 million fellow Malawians falling into poverty. This is not just a number. These are 1 million Malawians, 1 million human beings living in poverty. Those are fellow citizens who aspire to live their dreams, educate their children, be food secure, and access all that life has to offer. As a country and as a responsible leader, we cannot afford to be indifferent. This should worry every well-meaning citizen of this country. As People's Party, we acknowledge and share in the pain Malawians are going through. As such, we have actionable plans to quickly stop as well as fix the economic wreck. The term to remember throughout the campaign will be trickle up. Where do you choke and throughout the campaign is trickle up. Bring it from down and up. We have seen when it comes from the top to the bottom. Sisi kufika kuti fast. Number one, we recognize that responsible money circulation among citizenry is key to ensuring a healthy economy. In order to put money into people's pockets, my government shall implement the following measures. Number one, we shall work to close the Malawi kwacha currency spread between the official and parallel markets in order to give the kwacha its true value. The prevailing artificial value of the kwacha is a huge disadvantage to consumers, our farmers and business people, leading to financial loss for the farmers and huge operational costs for businesses with low return on investment. We believe that if our tobacco farmers' proceeds were paid with the true value of the kwacha, this would translate into considerable direct injection of money into people's pockets. This has a multiplier effect on key pieces of the consumer price index, CPI, mainly food, hence bring inflation down. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, number two, my government shall quickly roll out the Cash for Work program. Through this program, we shall target rural communities where people shall do community work, like paving roads and other development projects for cash payment. With this direct injection of money into our people's pockets, they shall be able to buy food and farming inputs and thereby bring down inflation. Number three, we shall continue and enhance social protection programs like cash transfer program that targets the most vulnerable in our communities. Number four, very crucially, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my government shall implement measures to stop wastage in public expenditure. We shall immediately institute austerity measures to stop unnecessary spending allocations to state residences, travel review ministerial and senior government entitlements and other expenditures that can wait. Such savings shall be in a dedicated government account to support critical national expenses. Number five, as Malawians may recall, as state president in 2012, I reduced my salary by 30%, reduced the allocation of vehicles assigned to a minister, as well as instituted other fiscal measures that controlled government expenditure. It is also very critical for leaders to not only share in people's economic pain, but lead by example to stop wanton expenditures. I have done it before, and I shall do it again for the benefit of Malawians. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I have spent some considerable time discussing these urgent actions to stabilize our economy, because economic management and governance is one of our top priorities as the People's Party, as it is crucial to our survival as a nation. We must do everything possible to stop the financial mismanagement and create space to implement our national development agenda. In People's Party, we believe that this country has adequate resources and must be prudently managed for the benefit of all Malawians. As People's Party, we come before you, Malawians, with a progressive national agenda founded on education, food security, health, and rural development, in addition to economic management and governance. As a party, we believe that our development agenda shall be an exercise in futility if we have an uneducated populace that is constantly food insecure and struggles to access quality good health. So under education, as our government shall continue to provide education infrastructure in our public schools in order to create a safe learning environment for our children, as a country we must also ensure that education remains a right for every child in this country. To this end, my government shall introduce free secondary education in order to ensure that we retain as many children as possible in secondary schools. The natural disasters that have hit the country recently, particularly during and after COVID and cyclones, have shown us that many school-going children dropped out of school. Many of these were from poor and vulnerable households. As a responsible government and country, we must ensure that right to education is for all children of this country, not just some. Number two, provide adequate funding to the education sector through national budget. Additional resources to fund the free secondary education shall be realized through the fiscal austerity measures that my government shall implement immediately upon getting your mandate to run affairs of this country. We shall ensure that trained teachers are timely absorbed into the public education system. Through experience and my international network, when a country is determined for the benefit of its children to give it what is its right, the right of those children, the international community shall support us. Number two is agriculture, food, and nutrition security. As we strive to diversify our economy, agriculture remains the country's main economic activity. However, developments in this sector have lagged, leaving a lot of our people still using a hoe and subsistence farming. We must retire the hoe to the museum. We can use modern equipment. In order to ensure that the country has a vibrant agricultural sector that contributes to the country's holistic development, my government shall, one, focus on ensuring that as a country we must have a 2-crop-a-year program and maximize our irrigation farming potential. As a country with vast water resources, there is no excuse for this country to be food insecure. My government shall provide adequate financial and human resource for the sector to live up to its national expectation. Number two, expedite mechanization of our agricultural sector. We must take the hoe to the museum, as I said earlier. Number three, review and align our agriculture investment programs funded through public resources to ensure that they align with the needs of the people of Malawi and correct any possible duplication of programs in the sector. Public resources must be direct to sectors that have the maximum return and effectively. Number four, reintroduce as well as enhance extension services to all key sections of our agriculture like crops, fisheries, and livestock farming. I look forward to a day, and I've already got a plan in place where we shall restock our lake with millions of fingerlings so that all our fellow Malawians living along the lake shore shall be like before, where they depended for their income from their fishing activities. Number 5, strengthen and fasten our agriculture diversification program. For the longest time, tobacco has been the main forex earner for this country. I salute our tobacco farmers for their dedication, though at times they haven't been duly rewarded. But due to recent price volatilities and global campaigns against tobacco, as a country, we must accelerate our action to diversify into other crops that have potential to earn this country the much-needed forex. I have in mind chilies, cotton, soya, and nandolo, among others. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't make sense that our program, our government, me and Kumbo Kachali, of 2012 to 2014, we built 3 cotton ginneries, and one is in Ngara, just standing idle. We shall go back and work in agriculture. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, health. The state of affairs of our health sector is heartbreaking. Our public hospitals are facing a lot of financial and operational challenges that requires immediate attention. Our people must have confidence in the public health system. And to attend that, I don't want to go into what is going there, because it is criminal. It is criminal to treat Malawians the way they are being treated when they are sick, because health services are a right. So one, we shall ensure that our hospitals have adequate drugs. No patient must suffer the pain of illness and financial burden to buy only medication. The people's tax must be prudently used to provide such critical services to each citizen. Number 2, ensure that public hospitals have adequate equipment for our professionals and to do their God-ordained job of saving lives, and they must be well paid and well rewarded. 3, ensure that the country retains our doctors and nurses through fiscally responsible remuneration. Our medical practitioners must focus on treating patients. My government shall ensure that doctors and nurses are properly rewarded. Rural transformation. The country's sustainable development cannot be achieved without transforming our rural communities. Our cities continue to face high rural-urban migration, hence exerting pressure on key utility services like water, sanitation, and energy, among others. In order to achieve balanced development, my government shall, 1, focus on development of rural growth centers to provide recent jobs for our youth and be the economic nuclear of our communities. And I always call them smart villages, a place where rural people have modern houses and rural people have food and nutrition security, and where that community can grow crops of their choice, but that community can also manage their environment. That community must have agri-business and business activities, and that community must have a clinic, a school, and that community must have a church or a mosque. That's a smart village for me. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as I get to the end of this part, we shall enhance rural electrification through existing government programs of MAREP, as well as through provision of solar power, my government shall create a conducive environment for solar providers to be critical partners in this objective. Most importantly, my government shall work with our traditional leaders to ensure proper land management and coordination in the implementation of our housing projects and other projects. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in this first part of our manifesto is the issue of youth and women's empowerment. For that, we will then later on go into the medium and long term. But for this part, Lola Nichito Zamajanga zindiikire umboni. Ora mekezeka amaindi abambo. Sitingabwere kuno kuza kuuzani za chibwana. Chifukwa chache tinanena kuti tiyeni tikapereke manifesto kwa Malawi muholo. Ndi chifukwa chakuti aliyense amene tikuonera lichete kumvesera. Ndipo ena ma MP athu, ma candidate ndi inu nthumwi zimene muti muzikauza anthu kumuzi zimene tapanganazi. Amayi ndi abambo ndizofunikira kwambiri kuti ifeyo tikhale ndi ndondomeko zopanga zinthu mwasangasanga right now. Ndiye ine ndikunena kuti choyambirira chimene titapange tikalowa mboma ndikuchita introduce cash for work. Cash for work ndiyo mwe imatipangisa maganyu m'mizi. Misewu yathu yakumbika kuimbika. Mundu mundu akalima pano ndi pali chisekopo alandire ka 2000 kache akagule okomani. Vukhani yaputa muziko ndi yakuti chuma chadirizika. Ziko lino lakwera ndi 1.8%, aku Zambia akwera ndi 5.6%, aku Tanzania akwera ndi 5.4%, aku Mozambique akwera ndi 5%. Ife takwera ndi 1.8%. Ndipo inflation ili kumathate. Ifeyo kusisa kwake ndi kwakuti na feso makukamu mizimu malawimu na feti zidya sima tikana ndi chakudya hapa komu. Pamene tikulowa mboma mwansanga kuti zimene zichitike between September and April pakhale cash for work. Ndiye kuti munthu uja akalandira ka 50,000 kachi ka 40,000 kachi akagula bikiri ya chimanga. Tikudikira kuti tikolole. Olemekezeka amaindi abambo ndilole kuti ndiafunse bambo Sandra kuti tipitirize ndimene tinanenera kaya lirede kaya. Mulirede eti? Tikoma.
I would like to say this in English. We are going to provide free secondary